Diplomatic ties between India and Israel are growing, but Israelis have always had a special place in their heart for India. It's one of the most popular travel destinations for young Israelis after their army service. So it's no surprise that over the years, a number of community centers have popped up for Israeli travelers. One of them is the Bina Center in Dharamsala in northern India. And joining us to talk more about that is Mor Shimoni, a community development leader from Bina who founded that community center in Dharamsala, and Chen Baraket, he's the manager of social media, both from Bina, the Jewish Movement for Social Change. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Mor, tell me a little bit about why you wanted to start this center and kind of what you offer there.
All right, so first of all, as you said, Bina is the Jewish Movement for Social Change. We've been working in Israel for over 20 years. And Bina is doing three main things. We're doing steady social action and building communities. And we do it in Israel and with Jews from abroad that come to Israel. And 2 years ago, we had the idea that there are so many, like you said, Israeli travelers in India, 40,000 approximately a year, only in India, and we really wanted to bring what we do here to them and to meet them in this junction that they have in their life when they're looking for themselves and looking for meaning after the army and everything. So we have established this house. We started in the south of India and we traveled to the north. And this house is an open house for the travelers community. We bring Shabbat, an Israeli Shabbat we call it, because we want to have it's a little bit different from Chabad and a Jewish heart and
right,
the
not
other
an Orthodox traditional Shabbat.
Yeah, non-Orthodox, but very Israeli, very Jewish, traditional Jewish Shabbat. So with songs, and you can find a guitar, and you can find a Beatles song, and a very traditional song from the Shabbat prayers.
Do you have challah?
Of course, we make it. You can say that we're having more of a community dinner. So everyone is engaged, everyone is making the food, everyone is contributing to this house. But it's not only Shabbat, because we have social action in the village. What we are trying to do, we're trying to bring the steady, the Jewish experience, the Israeli experience, but also social orientation, like a social justice orientation to the travelers.
Does that mean that some of the travelers can volunteer in this village?
Yeah, exactly. What we are trying to create is more conscious traveling. So if you are staying in a community in Dharamsala, so we want you to look around and see what's going on there other than your personal experience. So we want to have the Israelis and the travelers work with us and volunteer with us in the village. So we have a few opportunities for volunteering and to really get to know the experience, the community experience.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ken, what has the response been for Israelis? Because, as Mor said, this is a very critical time in the life of young Israelis, often a difficult transition from the army to real life, and even Jewishly trying to find yourself.
So it's very interesting because before we established the house, we didn't really know what to expect, whether people will react good and will want to come to the house, as we have other organizations working in Dharamsala. But actually the response were amazing. People came from all over India hearing about the house, coming, taking part in the activities, volunteering, which is something that they didn't have an opportunity to do in other places, which was really amazing. In the last couple of weeks, we actually did a crowdfunding campaign to the house in order to continue the amazing work that we do there.
And how were the results from the crowdfunding campaign?
The results were amazing. We were really surprised from the response of people.
Can you give us any numbers?
So we have hundreds of people taking part in the campaign. We actually were able to recruit more funding than we even thought we were going to have, which really amazed me because the people from all over Israel is taking part, even people that never been in India, and said, we believe in the values of Bina, and we believe in what you're doing there, and we want to support your work.
Wow. So now, will you expand the services at the community center, or will you build other ones in Kathmandu and Mumbai?
Yes,
or other, all the above.
At the moment, we really believe in the house in Dharamsala, and we want to expand the work over there. And we believe that in the future, we will expand to other places as well.
Right. Well, India, you couldn't have picked a better place to find Israelis, right? Because this is like their second home. after the army. Why do you think Israelis are so drawn to India?
So a lot of Israelis, after their army service, are actually trying to go as far as they can from the experience that they had in the army. So they go to India, to South America, and they usually, what's interesting in India, they go to, even culturally, they're trying to go as far as they can. So they go to Buddhism, and they try to learn about other culture. But what's interesting and what's Bet Bina is allowing them is actually to understand that they can come back to the start. They're coming back to the starting point, understanding that they really care about Judaism and they really want to learn more about it, and they really want to experience it in Tikkun Olam and to work and to volunteer in the community.
Right,
and
to make the world a better place.
And it's something that they don't get in other places in India.
And this is, in a sense, what you're doing. There's a holy mission here, because a lot of the rabbis get so upset that so many young Israelis are turned on to Buddhism, and they say, hey, Judaism has a lot of spirituality. Here it's a little more difficult, probably because of the divisions between secular and religious, and the stereotypes around religious, and what seems like a lot of forced ways of living. But more, is it your experience that this is, Bina's offering a kind of open invitation to re-explore Judaism?
I think Bina is doing it in Israel, first of all. For over 20 years, we've been trying to show that it's not, if you're religious or secular, that you have to love Judaism or hate Judaism, or if you can be a secular Jew and have a full Jewish identity, you can celebrate the holidays and you can have a spiritual connection if you would like. So you can find your way in the cultural Judaism as you wish. And in India, your heart is a little bit more open. You're traveling. You're away from home, and I think it's a main experience for Israelis, young Israelis, that they are looking for their identity. So this house is allowing them to find it, and we're not saying you should be like this, you should be like that. You can find your own way if you want to study Buddhism and you want to practice yoga and you want to come to Shabbat. We're not engaging in how you live your life, but we do want to have something to do with your Jewish identity and with social justice.
The social action programs in Dar Masala, are those opportunities to go work with children or the elderly, or clean or paint or fix? What kind of options do they have? So
every week they have a volunteer activity in the village. There's several of different opportunities to work outside in the village. So they clean. So as a lot of Israelis traveling in the area, so they go to the area of traveling and they clean the places. They work with kids in the community.
And I think it's more finding a way to have an equal meeting with the community, so you don't do it alone. You go with people from the community to clean the village, to have more. So it's more integrated. It's more integrated, and to find like an equal point. So it's not only we are coming from the West and we're going to clean your village or something like that. Right. So it's more. Together. Right, a lot of sensitivities to colonialism, obviously, in India. Okay, Mor and Chen, thank you so much for joining me. It sounds like great work you're doing in India. Come visit us in India. We would love to. Maybe we'll be able to go there and do a special report. All right, we're going to take a break now, but don't go anywhere. We have so much more coming up for you here on the Holy Land Uncovered.
That we believe in the values of Bina, and we believe in what you're doing there, and we want to support your work.
Wow. So now, will you expand the services at the community center, or will you build other ones in Kathmandu and Mumbai? Yes, or all the above?
At the moment, we really believe in the house in Dharamsala, and we want to expand the work over there. And we believe that in the future, we will expand to other places as well.
Right. Well, India, you couldn't have picked a better place to find Israelis, right? Because this is like their second home after the army. Why do you think Israelis are so drawn to India?
So, a lot of Israelis, after their army service, are actually trying to go as far as they can from the experience that they had in the army. So they go to India, to South America, and they usually, what's interesting in India, they go to, even culturally, they're trying to go as far as they can. So they go to Buddhism, and they try to learn about other culture. But what's interesting...
हमारा ये वीडियो कैसा लगा, ये बात हमको कमेंट के जरिए बताते रहें। हमारी चैनल को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करना